Welcome back, everyone, to Crusader Kings 3 in our latest episode. If you haven't seen the previous 9 episodes up to this point, there's a link in the description below. It'll take you back to episode 1. Normally, I record these first thing in the morning, so I apologize if you were waiting on that and it hasn't arrived any sooner. I had an opportunity to go visit my grandmother at her nursing home today. It's the first indoor visit I've had with my grandmother in over a year. And only the second time I've gotten to see her face-to-face in the last year. The last time was last fall for an outdoor visit before they shut everything down again. So I had to take advantage of that opportunity. My grandpa and I got to go visit with her for a half hour. I was grateful for that. But I'm back, and we are ready to go. So we are now the proud owners of a dukedom. I did have somebody request that I take a look real quick at Croatia. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you can see all of the different counties. Each one of these are a separate county, all the names that you see. We can look at the duchy titles, and there's Lower Bosnia, Upper Bosnia, and then a few others here: Dalmatia, Croatia, Slavonia, and then there's the kingdom title, which is Croatia, and there is a king in Croatia right now, and that's King Crusader V. So there you have it. All right, back to where we are, and you can see the different de jure kingdoms that are in existence. That does not mean that they necessarily exist, since, for example, Germany is a de jure kingdom within the Holy Roman Empire. So now that we're at the level of dukedom, we've got some decisions that we need to make. There's some things that we need to do. We have not chosen a lifestyle. We need to take a look at what the vote was over on Patreon and decide what it is that we're going to do. Okay, so the vote was pretty close between stewardship and diplomacy. Intrigue got 0 votes. But otherwise, let's take a look here. I clicked off of it by accident. Stewardship got 11 votes. Diplomacy got 8. Martial got 2. And learning got 2. So stewardship it is. That's the direction we're going to go. I think at least for now, we're going to go wealth focus and see if we can't really build up the wealth of our duchy. There's some armies passing through, but nothing I need to worry about. A couple of armies, a couple of wars still going on. Those are all wars involving my liege, the king. I serve directly under the king now, who is King William II of England. I am a one-eyed dude. Duke Edward, not the best guy in the world. Let's see, I'm heterosexual male. My wife and friend, Almodus. Let's see, we've got a couple of empty council positions that we need to assign. Let's see. Spymaster. Nobody great. Oh, yeah. My brother-in-law, he's my steward, though. That ain't going to work. Let's recruit Wulfhelm to my court for 40 gold. It's worth it. Now we'll assign him to that position. Excellent. So everybody's pretty good. My Chancellor's not fantastic, but 15's not bad. My culture has joined the high medieval era. New innovations are available. That's excellent news. We're going to work on increasing Mayor Eleanor's opinion of us. Let's go ahead and do that. I can ask the Head of Faith for 244 gold. It'll cost me 250 piety, but you know what? Worth it. Totally worth it. We have 4 wars that we can declare. We're not going to do any of that. There's no reason to, especially since we just came out of a war. So I think we're pretty solid right where we're at. Thank you for the wealth. A daughter-in-law, Isbael, has given birth to a son. Since the little one is part of the Greenhill dynasty, I get to pick the name. Hugo, interesting. A good Catholic name. Christopher, yes. Hey, I'll go with that. That's my name. I like it. Well, this is pretty cool. Moving up in the world. As an influential duke, it's only fair you have a voice on my council. In recognition of this fact, I hereby offer you the position of Spymaster of England. I am now the Spymaster of all of England. That's pretty awesome. Moving up in the world, and that's because I have that 25 learning. Only 9 in intrigue. I really don't know why he's picked me as Spymaster, except that he figures I'm powerful and needed to give me some kind of a position. Let's take a look at my son, Earl Edward, who is the heir to the Duchy of Mercia. And I control all of this now, and it'll all get passed to him because he is my only son. Now, we're going to have an issue with the next generation because Edward has 2 sons. Edward, who's 5, and Christopher, who was just born. First things first, let's go ahead and see. Oh, we do have a guardian already for him. Let's look for possible spouses. Alliance power. You know what? We got all the time in the world to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about betrothing my 5-year-old. I don't have immediate need for an alliance right now. So I think we'll pass on that. Alright, the time has finally come to bring St. George's holy wrath against the vile infidels of Castile. Inflamed by righteous fury and unyielding resolve, the great army of Crusaders assembled by Pope Innocent set forth to deliver divine justice upon the wicked and earn their place in heaven. Deus Vult! Alright, so I did promise to join this, and that's how I got unexcommunicated. So I probably need to participate in this one. Let's go ahead and raise our army. I don't need to participate for a long time. In fact, you can see the financial strain that's going to put on me if I go for very long. But we'll at least send the army down to Castile and see what we can do to help out. And hey, I'm kind of related to the Castilians after all. In fact, let me take a look at this. I don't want to look at my dynasty tree. I want to look at my family tree. You can see my grandparents here. My grandmother, Sancho Ramirez of Aragon, and her parents, my great-grandparents. You have the King of Aragon and the King of Navarre. So I've got some ties to Spain, if not specifically to Castile. You got Navarre here and Aragon over there. Wars are expensive. Raise additional taxes. Yeah, let's raise some war taxes. That'll get us down to minus 1.0. That's a little better. Okay, we're about to land in Aragon. Here we are. Let's go ahead and move to see if we can... Oh, we swayed Mayor Eleanor. That's good. There's a neutral rebel army here that we might be fighting in just a minute. Oh, I guess they're not up against me. How about these guys? Alright, so this is... These are actually allied armies. Valladolid, I believe that would be. Oh, no, it's not either. Hee boy! A little help here, guys, would be most welcome. I'm going to lose my army again in one of these stupid crusades. Because I end up fighting by myself and no one comes to my aid. They're going to come, but it's going to be too late. Ugh. Brutal. I don't know why I ever bother with these wars. In this case, let's get our army out of there. We fought, we did our part to get unexcommunicated. There's probably a better word for that. Recommunicated? I don't know. But in this case, I'm going to get my army out of there. Because I'm the head of my culture, I actually get to pick what innovation we focus on. So we're going to focus on the trebuchet. I've always loved trebuchets. I thought they were really cool. I've got 25 learning, which is excellent, which is going to go toward that. So at least at the current rate, it's going to take us about 22 years until we can recruit trebuchets as men-at-arms. We're returning our 1,500-man army to Murcia, where we're going to stand them down. But overall, the war's going pretty well. You can see here there's 37,000 in the attackers if they're all in one place at one time. Just 10,000 defenders. They just got to get their act together and focus the combat a little bit. But I'm returning home. We'll let them get built back up, and that's going to cost us some money. But at least we can tell the Pope we did our part. We fought in a battle. I wake screaming, my heart beating fast. I had been chained naked or collared, while a dozen men and women with the heads of goats descended on me, biting and tearing at my skin. Dude, that is creepy. I gain a secret as a cannibal? What? I was suddenly one of them, ripping my own flesh with sharp teeth, swallowing scraps, drinking blood, slurping. I've never felt anything as horrifying as when I saw the life leave the eyes of my ravaged body. Prayers for God's protection will calm me. I don't think I want to be a cannibal. No. I'll pass on that. There's also a raid going on up here in Cumberland on Whitehaven. Some Vikings, but I'm not too worried about that. It's a small band, and they're not in my territory. I'm looking at factions. There is a Liberty faction. Their discontent's only 9%, and their military power 67%, so I'm really not too concerned about them. Earl Eldwine of Leicestershire is a part of that, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then there's peasants who want lower county control. I'm not too worried about either one of those. I am going to see what I can do about Earl Eldwine and see if I can't maybe get him a little bit happier with me. Let's switch to a sway scheme on him, see if we can make him happier and get him out of that faction. Holy Roman Empire. And I mean that as an expletive. Holy Roman Empire. Look at the size of his empire now. He's gobbled up a bunch more territory. He's got all of this territory here. I guess that would be, we're looking at modern day Czechoslovakia, well, Czech Republic and Slovakia, Hungary, Austria, Germany, a little bit of Italy over here. My goodness. Is this Wallachia here? I guess it probably is. Man, he is really piling on what he's got. Kaiser Reinhard of the Holy Roman Empire. Who's his heir, I wonder? That's an elective thing, isn't it? His primary heir is Prince Eberhard right now. My goodness. My acquaintance Earl Robert created the Liberty faction against William II. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get involved in that. Although, wouldn't that be something if I declared liberty and became an independent duchy? Wow. I don't think I want to do that, though. So I'm up to 552 in my coffers. I've got 11.2 in monthly income. I'm going to wait until this duchy building is completed, the strategic marches. And then we're going to upgrade our castle to level 2, which is a keep. I think it's definitely time that we do that as a duchy, that we have a more powerful castle. New lifestyle perk available. Taxman. Building construction costs reduced by 5%. That might be nice. Demand payment for hooks. No. Let's do the collect taxes effectiveness. In fact, let me take a look at my council for a second. What's my steward up to? He's increasing development right now. I think I want to go to collect taxes for a little while in Warwickshire. And let's see how that improves us to 12.2, even better. All right, we gained 50 opinion with Earl Edwin. I think that should help. Let's see if that pulls him out of this faction. No, he's still there. Can we convince him not to? I know in the old game you could, like, talk somebody out of being in a faction, but it doesn't look like that's an option here. I guess we'll just keep an eye on it for now. I'm not too worried, though. All right, victory in the Crusade. There's some good news. St. George has granted King Gullin the victory in the Crusade for Castile. St. George is with us. We won the war. We gained some fame because of it. What was given to me? I got 481 gold out of that. Awesome. 468 piety. 1,837 prestige. Woo! Man, that was so worth getting involved in that one, even if it did cost me for a little while. My beneficiary, rank number 2. So Countess Rachel. Good for her. So be it. Awesome. All right, so we are above our domain limit, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. How did I get above my domain limit? Was something given to me that I didn't have before? Interesting. Let's take a look here for a second. My titles. Earl of Northampton, Warwick, Huntington, Worcestershire, Herefordshire, Shropshire, Duchy of Mercia. I don't know. Did I have Nottingham before? I'm really confused. So I guess what happened is the number of holdings I could have actually went down. I used to be able to hold 6. Now I can only hold 5. So that's what happens. My dear brother, I eagerly propose to formalize the ties that already bind us together. Oh, you know what? She was given land. Okay, that's why. So she was given a title down in Valladolid. Valladolid down here. I think that's where that is. Yep. So good for her, since we made her our beneficiary of that. So we've got an empty council position now. My steward needs replaced. I feel like we can do better than 13, but that'll have to do for now. We'll have to deal with the domain limit. I'll have to pass one of my titles on. That's not a big deal. We could found a new kingdom? No? What do we need to do in order to do that? I need to be independent. I need at least 3 or more duchies, which I don't have. Oh, at least one of these. Or my realm size is 30 or more. Yeah, we don't have that. So let's do this. Let's give Nottingham to my son Edward. My only son. I feel like I thought I had another child, but I guess not. Alright. Let's give him Nottingham. Can I not give him that one? Why not? Oh, because that's not part of my duchy. That's why. Okay. So we have to give him something in my own duchy. How about Huntington? There you go. This is part of a different... What duchy is that a part of? It's part of Mercia. So now let's negotiate an alliance with my son. Lots of money now. That's awesome. So let's invest some of that back in to our primary title here. How are we doing on this? January, so 7 months left until that's completed. So maybe we'll invest over here in Worcester. Bastions and curtain walls. Hunting grounds. Barracks. Alright, we'll upgrade the barracks. Only costs 200 to do that. And then over here in Northampton, let's add on wooden barracks, military camps, hunters' lodges. Wooden barracks it is. Alright, our strategic marches are completed. There's a faction created against King William by Countess Matilda, who created the Liberty faction. Again, not going to get involved in that, but now we are in position to go ahead and upgrade our castle. It's going to take 5 years and 550 gold, but it's going to take us up to a keep. So let's go ahead and get that project underway now. Still gives us 300 gold or thereabouts left. I'm 50 years old, Duke Edward II. My son, who will be Edward III when he takes the throne. And then, of course, we have another Edward beyond that. Christopher is now 4. I don't think we're at the place yet where we can educate him. Oh, we can't offer guardianship for him. And I think I will educate him. Excellent. Dangerous faction. Lower Crown Authority faction. Dude, Earl Edwine, you got to get out of this, buddy. I'm still really not too worried about these things. It's always fun to look at the family tree, especially now that we are, about 70 years into the game, to kind of take a look all the way back to the beginning with Earl Edward, who died at the age of 65. You can see that actually my uncle Jacob is still alive at the age of 63. My Aunt Elizabeth at 59 is still living. She's got a son, or a daughter, who's alive, but does not appear to have children of her own. Aelflade did not have any children of her own. Countess Anna has 3 grown children now. and we can see where they are and what houses they're a part of. Nothing beyond that. But then closer to home here, you have myself, Duke Edward II, Countess Rachel, my sister, and you can see her son, my nephew, who's the heir to her titles, and then her son Joseph, who's 15 and is actually of my house. So honestly, if we could off my nephew here, who's an evil paragon anyway, who's of a different house, that would then make my nephew Joseph the heir, and as a member of my house, that would only improve the standing of our house. So I feel like maybe we should do that. So let's do a murder scheme here. Only a 44% chance right now to do that. We really don't want to get caught doing this, but we're going to go ahead and start it. And then, of course, you have my grandchildren here. So these are, let's see, grandson. These are great-great-grandchildren of the original character that we started playing. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking at people that we can invite to our scheme that could be convinced that bring some significant success chance to the scheme. My brother-in-law in particular, because he lives there. So we're talking about his stepson in this case. So if we can get him involved, that would actually be really, really helpful. So let's go ahead and bribe him. It'll cost 68 gold. Feels like a small price to pay to greatly enhance the odds that this scheme, now it's at 76%. That's a big difference from where we were. Valesco could add another 11 to it. Can we bribe him? 50. Yeah, let's do it. The other important thing, of course, is the ability to keep it secret, which we're at 95%, which is the max. I like those odds. Okay, here we go. A meal to die for. My agents have prepared for weeks. The cook has been bribed to look the other way. The poison has been acquired, and the duck was gifted to Sinwalin alone. It will be rubbed with the poison. So this is the same way we killed the last guy that we poisoned. 87% chance. Only a 5% chance we get caught. Let's do it. The poison did its job. Sinwalin is no more. Even better, in his death throes, a bone got stuck in his throat. Now it's unclear exactly what killed him at all. Interesting. So, hopefully that now means that my sister's son, Joseph, who just turned 16, is the heir. Is he the heir? Is he not the heir? All right, who's her heir? No, she had another child. Or who is this child? Is this one of her children? No. No, darn it. Well, I killed that poor kid for nothing. Well, he's not a kid. He was an adult. I killed him for nothing. He's still not the heir. Are there any other options as far as the heir to this title go? Let's take a look. So Joseph is actually next in line after this newborn kid here. Well, let's wait a while and see what happens, because there's always the chance that a newborn child could die on its own. But we're going to stop right there. I think that was a lot for that episode. I'm now 51 years old, looking pretty rough there, but a lot has happened. We're solidifying our realm. I think we're doing pretty good right now. Maybe in a few more generations we could expand even more and start thinking about one day before the game is over creating a British Empire. But we'll see. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. Drop that like button if you would. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.